welcome everyone. Yeah, we're gonna speed through some updates, stuff that has happened recently. SpeedFox has added timeframes to the ZecHub Wiki dashboard. So, um, have you received payment for that yet, SpeedFox? Did they figure that out? I'm excited about those. Yeah, do you know what? Thank you for mentioning that. We need to repost the Frost invite link. It's going to be a really important one for the community. So for the devs in here, what Frost lets you do is have multi-sig with shielded transactions. So multiple parties can coordinate together to sign a transaction. So it sounds kind of boring on the surface, but it actually enables a lot of very cool use cases, um, such as like you can have a private escrow or something like that. But not to get sidetracked, thank you, SpeedFox, for adding this new feature, which lets people select the year in the shielded supply chart. I did notice one bug though, which is when you do select a year and then you select a different. Okay, maybe not. Um, that might have been my mistake. Oh, of course, because if you select a year prior to when the pool existed, of course that would cause a bug. Um, anyway, yeah. So the shielded supply chart now has time frames. The shielded transactions chart also has a start height and end height that can be selected, which is kind of cool.
It's awesome.
And yeah, so this small addition that I did is to add the current node count to this nodes box here. Um, Node count now added to the dashboard. I think this was Frankenstein that added node count. Tesla's dev. Yeah, I think it was Frankenstein. I can fix that scroll. Thank you. How's the node count gotten? So, Disma, do you want to explain?
Yeah. Sorry. Let me post the link. We're using open source code, and I run this every Sunday, and it runs for 90 minutes, and it just takes a snapshot of every node that it can find. So let me grab that real quick, and I'll post it.
So, whilst we're waiting for Dismad, um, it also shows difficulty and the amount of Zec which is in the lockbox. I think we should add a box down here that shows the lockbox amount as well. And since it's a predictable amount of Zec that gets added each day, we could probably show the full chart and our position um, on the chart, if that makes sense. Uh, so the end would be November, and it would show our position, current
There we go,
position.
guys.
Uh, am I still live?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, my
Yeah.
laptop's very laggy. Something that I'd ask for everyone to do right now is subscribe to the ZecHub Shielded newsletter. So this is like my proof of concept that I'm super passionate about, and I think if people start, just try it out, and I think you'll understand what's happening. Um, we can use Zcash for shielded, well, private communications, and And the key here is that if you set this up for yourself, if you have your own private newsletter, you can earn subscription fees in Zcash, and maybe offer different services as well. So something to think about. Something else that we did is set up the store for ZCon 6. It's the annual Zcash conference happening March 4th to March 7th. We will be presenting, so ZecHub is presenting with SpeedFox and Croy. So we have, these are pretty much our top two contributors over the past couple of months. Um, so we're going to have them on and they can talk about the stuff that they've been doing and maybe some things that they'd be interested in doing with ZecHub. Um, yeah, we have Zcash merch as well, and we're sending out free shirts to the speakers of the event. Um, I think we added a few new wiki pages, so we added near intent to the exchanges page, and um, this is something that happened 2 weeks ago. I think was Kenzo added the Zcash Espanol and Zcash Nigeria assets to the brand page. There are a few other things which I'm forgetting at the moment, but the most this is one of the most important things, especially for the developers in this call, is our request for proposals to fork and host a new version of Zec Pages. So I'll post the link in the chat. And I don't think Zec Pages is working fully at the moment. So for anyone who never used it, this was a platform that you could post messages to this message board, and no one would necessarily know where the message came from because it uses shielded memos. Yeah. The website's still up, but just doesn't show anything. One developer gets the role, Jenith. Okay, and it depends on your proposal. So we've listed the criteria that we select. We select based on. How do you plan to modify the UI? What's your strategy? What's your timeline? And what's the budget that you're requesting? And yeah, these are the selection criteria as well: cost effectiveness, feasibility, and your technical expertise or experience with Zcash. So send in your proposals. The way to do it is to go over to vote.zechub. I'll type the link.
So yeah, I encourage all devs that are listening or are curious. I would recommend chatting up the folks in the Zclash Global ZecHub channel, just so that we can read through your ideas, proposals, and ultimately the DAO is going to have to vote, and there's a 3-day voting. So if you don't discuss things, folks might have questions. So I think it's wise to try and communicate your ideas, and we can try to get these ideas passed, because the end goal is a benefit to Zcash in general, right? We want this page, this site to stay around. So I'm excited that we have some folks that are willing and able to step up and do this work. So I hope that we get some proposals and we can start voting. And it's also worth noting that the view key for Zec pages is never not it's always going to be available. So you could technically send messages forever. It's just only the folks, you'd have to use the view key to view what's being that's the messages that are being broadcast. So, but anyway, I know we have Elite Bytes in here, so I appreciate you taking the time to be here tonight. If you have any questions or you want to talk about what your ideas, now would be a great opportunity. If not, it's okay. Um, I know you messaged the in the ZecHub DAO or the ZecHub Discord channel, so that was appreciate that. And I hope if any other folks have questions, now's a good time to ask those as well.
Yeah, I think one thing that I think from seemed to be missing from the RFP was moderation. That I believe Zec Pages would have some sort of backend, or I'm not sure. I think it might have been like manually deleting things from the database in terms of moderation, because of course anyone can post anything in a memo. And I think personally, what I would probably do is kind of have human moderation for things before going up on the website, because
That's
sort of permanent blockchain messages are a big target for abuse.
that's a fantastic point, and I would definitely mention that in any proposal that you create. I think ZecHub DAO could definitely play a role there in terms of helping moderate
Yeah,
us.
good point. Um, yeah, I wasn't even I wasn't aware of any moderation that was happening on Zec pages. In fact, so there were there was a lot of FUD being posted. I guess that was allowed. That's allowed. Um, but yeah, good point.
I think that was
Aside,
um, yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I think that, I mean, that's one of the reasons why I think it's sort of somewhat naive to just kind of copy, or basically fork and deploy the entire kind of old message based on the viewing key, because I think there was a database of kind of deleted messages and so on, which would need to be kind of either done by hand again manually, or yeah, I guess kind of taking kind of having access to a dump of the previous database.
mhm, awesome. Yeah, something else that we've been working on is uh, oh yeah, so Croy submitted a proposal to become like a ZecHub graphic designer, and he's already produced. I don't know if I can log into Twitter at the moment, but he's if you go onto our Twitter page, you would see the first installment of his DYK series going out. So I'm really looking forward to some of the other interesting facts that come along. Um, so thank you, Croy. Another proposal that we had from Dan was to apply for Penumbra IAN Eclipse microgrants, and I'm glad to report that it was approved. So the content of our proposal was essentially to have a bounty program which was joined with Penumbra. So we're going to be offering bounties in Zec and in Um, um, I think it's a really cool thing. We get to join the Penumbra community, which is on Cosmos, and the Zcash community, um, and host events together and do a lot of other cool stuff. In the past week, we've also had meetings with NIM. Um, some of the NIM, I think it's the NIM community lead and some other NIM person. And we met with them and with Zankas from Zingo Labs talking about stuff that we could do together. And so we decided that after ZCon 6, um, ZecHub and the NIM community. So ZecHub has its bounty program, and the NIM community has something called Squad League, which is basically the same thing. And we're gonna again join the two together. People can earn NIM, like a basket of NIM and Zec together. You know, getting people using each of the wallets, producing tutorials about how to set up mixnet nodes and all sorts of stuff. And yeah, cool stuff happening. Head of community and development. Okay, okay. Sorry. Um, that just about covers our updates for the past 2 weeks. Am I missing anything?
There was a few. I there was a few YouTube video post tutorials. I posted a transparent multi-sig using Zcash tutorial in case anyone's interested in how that works. And let's see, I think there was another one posted on how to use Zebra to find use the Zebra node to get the pool data so that you can get the latest stats if you run a full node, which I encourage. And I think that was that. And then, oh, and the Squirrel, the Zcash shielded assets demo too, right?
Yeah, I think it was Tron that did this. So this is a demo showing Kedit,
Scenario.
the company that is developing the shielded asset protocol, created a demo, um, and it connects to a special Zebra node that they have running um, on Amazon. And he basically went through the demo and showed that it works and went through all the steps. And so it's kind of cool to have like contributors from around the world learn how to issue assets. I think, yeah, this is exactly what we need, and it was Tron that did it.
Good job, Tron. Loved it.
Right then, yeah, I guess also we released our video on near intense. Has anyone used it yet? Just curious.
I have.
Yeah, I know you have. Let me check the chat. Thank you, ZecHub. Thank you, Tron. Yeah, Squad League. I don't know if I can find a link to NIM Squad League, but one of the things Zankas encouraged us to do is to incentivize Zcash community members becoming NIM Squad League members, or Nimjas, I think they're called. Yeah, so it's like a bounty program.
And then, in case you guys didn't know, Brave is going to be releasing shielded Zcash support very soon. So be on the lookout for a new quick demo on how that works. It is live on the Brave Nightly edition, and you'll have to go into the flags to turn it on manually.